in 6th Street. And a lot of people right here, they tend to like do drugs or whatever, right? And the crazy thing about the world today, that they say that drugs is bad and don't do it and try to like say it's, you know, stay away from it. But at this corner store right here, right there, right when as soon as you walk in, is everything you need to consume your drug of choice.
Hey, Segovia, back with another one. In today's episode, we got some mysterious videos, Shadowbanned on TikTok. Let's have some fun today, y'all. Sit back, relax, enjoy the show.
At CERN, they've used their collider to open up a portal to communicate with extraterrestrial beings.
Whoa.
And one of them are the occupants from 3i Atlas.
To be clear, CERN already has a room and a technology to open a portal to talk to extraterrestrials.
Yes.
But recently, they also used it to communicate with the beings on 3i Atlas.
That's correct.
Okay, go
on. So those beings introduced themselves as such, like we are the occupants of this object, and they did not show up physically. They show up as holograms. Now, they apparently showed up as holograms. They look tall, that's what she said, and they communicated telepathically with every single scientist in the room.
Wow.
And they all got the same message, which is that they are coming in peace, and they're just trying to come over here to gather all the star seeds of his planet.
So when you remote viewed, did you pick up on that intention as well?
Yes and no. I believe that the direct reptilians, will be coming to Earth, but as to know what the exact intent, that I could not really say.
Well, this is an extraordinary development.
It is.
You remote viewed 3i Atlas. Did you do that on your own, or were you tasked with this assignment?
I was tasked by the same intelligence people I'm working with to look at the object, because those had concerns. But what I saw as a remote viewer was a mothership with occupants on board, and they were mostly direct reptilian occupants.
Okay.
That's what, I saw as a remote viewer.
And that was corroborated by other remote viewers seeing the same thing.
That's correct. Yes.
The ship and Draco.
That's correct. One of them is John Vivenko, who is also a known remote viewer. And he announced it publicly as well. And other people from the Stargate program as well. So they basically all came up with the same idea.
Did you hear the massive news today from NASA about 3i Atlas? 3i Atlas is that interstellar object that's traveling through our solar system and is going to do a flyby Earth. Well, NASA announced something that changes everything. They said that they pointed the James Webb telescope at 3i Atlas, and they pushed a button that shoots photon protein fiber beams in the direction of an object they want to see. But they said they can only use it once because it's so powerful it burns out the telescope. So James Webb telescope is now burnt out, but it allowed them to get close-up imagery of 3i Atlas. And they said when they were looking at it serendipitously, 3 objects came out of the center of 3i Atlas. And they didn't say these objects broke off it. They said they came out of the center, and the objects have propulsioners on them. And so one of them, they said, is headed towards Earth. The second one is headed towards our moon. And the third one is headed randomly towards Venus. And they said they're going so fast that the one to Earth will get here in a week and a half. I have an inside source at NASA that leaked the imageries to me, and I'm going to post that in part 2, and you will not believe what these objects look like.
Does anybody know what's happening? Do you guys know? Guys, this is crazy. Does anybody know what's happening? Do you guys know? Holy crap. Holy crap, it's like a light show. It's all over the place. This is out of control. This is crazy.
Arizona is a crazy place.
Oh my gosh. What is happening? Am I going out of my mind, or are all the stars moving? This is the coolest thing. This is the coolest thing!
Do you know the James Webb Telescope has picked up on potential life outside of our solar system?
Potential life?
Potential life. So NASA announced potential signature of extraterrestrial life in the atmosphere of a planet that is 120 light years away. So the James Webb Telescope, they can pick up on molecules in space. There's a certain molecule, dimethyl sulfide. That molecule is only produced by living organisms on Earth. And they picked up this molecule from a planet that's 120 light years away.
I mean, there could be just like animal life or creature life in other parts of space, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I saw this one thing where they think that these giant sea-like creatures are living under the ice in these oceans on these planets.
dude, that'd be wild.
That would be
That's
a
what
barrier layer, like we have our atmosphere that
Yeah.
protects us. That layer of ice could be protecting something underneath.
Like, what if God was just like, I want to see what this sea creature will do on this planet before I put it on Earth. So they like
Just testing.
It's like a
This
test.
little test facility. Ah!
But like,
I mean, who are we to think we're the only ones in this place we're in? I mean, we're in the place we're in, so why would we think there's nobody else in the place we're in, right? Because we're in space, we're aliens, we're an advanced civilization. Why wouldn't somewhere else there be an advanced civilization? Why wouldn't there somewhere else be animals in their oceans? Where our animals in our oceans supposedly were here billions and billions of years before we were here.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to hear the reason why a U.S. president broke down in tears after learning the truth about UFOs? Of course you do. It's super interesting. According to Ed Harris, a former NASA researcher, President Jimmy Carter, one of the few presidents to openly acknowledge seeing a UFO himself, was deeply shaken after his classified briefing. So the CIA reportedly gave him only a limited overview, as most presidents receive, but what he learned changed him forever. So what was he told? Well, according to this claim, Carter learned that major world religions, including Christianity, were programs created by extraterrestrials, designed to keep humans from destroying themselves. Carter was a deeply religious man, and this revelation shattered him. Witnesses said that he actually sunk his head into his hands and sobbed after hearing this, and he remained visibly disturbed for weeks after this briefing. Many actually believed Carter would be the president to finally disclose the truth about UFOs. But after that briefing, he never did. And recently, we've heard people like Tucker Carlson, Lou Elizondo, many people stating how dark this subject matter really is. So
All right, now this is getting a little creepy, a little strange. Okay, first and foremost, this is a 3-Eye Atlas update. And yes, I might have to say for entertainment purposes only on this one because it's a little bit too much. I'm even starting to be like, So, a lot of my comments have been saying, how have they been talking to him? Who are the they that's been talking to him? And we now have CERN entering into the conversation. If you don't know what CERN is, it's called a Large Hadron Collider. I'll do a whole nother take on that. But CERN has been opening portals. I heard this years ago that they was opening portals and they was talking to entities, okay? So they saying that they have not only been talking to a bunch of extraterrestrials, but they've also been talking to the people on 3-Eye Atlas. And they say the people on the beings on 3-Eye Atlas are coming to get the star seeds. They have a reason. They're coming in peace, but they want to take the star seeds with them. Star seeds, to me, just to me, sound like food that's delicious, but they're saying they coming in peace. So I guess I have to say for entertainment purposes only. And yeah,
I'm worried about him. I look at his face and the face looks like it's taking a beating. That scares me. The sunkenness of the eyes, you have to put a side-by-side picture. You got to put him as the final boss, and then put him there. He showed up in Venice, and it was like, bam. Nobody has seen him before that? Like, where has he been? Was he the third astronaut up there they couldn't get back? I mean, where the f*** has Dwayne been? To lose that much weight that quickly. So they're stating that he lost the weight to play Kerr in the Smashing Machine. But he didn't lose the weight. He's big. If you Google it, that he sat down with his cardiologist and he's suffering from heart disease. If you have $800 million, the last thing you want to do is with your health. I think Dwayne was probably, as the final boss, probably 285-ish, 280. What, that one movie aged him 5 years? And he wants to do another one? I hope Dwayne's okay.
That's why I always say, if you're going to get in this content creation game, choose your content wisely, because whatever takes off, that's what you got to do. Like these videos, this is kind of the genre I got to stick to. If I do anything else on this channel, nobody will watch. Like him, he started off with good movies like Gridiron Gang. I thought that was a good movie. Snitch was a good movie, like those. But then he went into the, superhero. I got to get jacked up on steroids now, and now he can't come back from that. Nobody wants to see The Rock. That's scrawny and all that. He's got to keep doing those steroids and choosing that genre of movie and putting out that type of image of yourself messes with your heart, all those steroids and all that, y'all. So I don't know, it's backfiring on him doing all that. That was the price of fame for him, but now he deals with, everything goes full circle.
Why did Building 7 collapse after just 7 hours of burning? In a way that no steel frame building anywhere in the world has ever collapsed. Professor Leroy Hulsey of the University of Alaska at Fairbanks conducted an independent study whose findings were released in 2020. Professor Hulsey found that office fires of the kind in Building 7 on 9/11 could not have produced sufficient thermal expansion to cause the crucial girder to fail. It's impossible, he found. One group of scientists did collect and test 4 samples of dust and debris collected by a Manhattan resident about 10 minutes after the collapse of the Second World Trade Center tower. In those samples, the scientists found distinctive red-gray chips full of highly energetic and thermitic material. In other words, they found traces of explosive compounds.
You see that up there? That ain't just clouds, brother. That's cold. Whole sky is a screen, man. They paint it on like makeup so you don't see the wires. Sun glitches every morning at 7:14, but you too busy scrolling to notice. They feed you daylight like breadcrumbs.
You probably dreamt about how your first NFL start would go. Let's see here. 28 carries, 147 yards. How did the real thing compare to what you dreamed it would be like?
Honestly, just thinking about it, I told Christian, I said, I don't know how you do it, man. It's a long game, but, this is just the beginning, and, we're going to see where we go from here.
When did you find out that you were going to be starting?
When did I find out? Maybe Friday night, something like that. I was always prepared. I mean, we went through training camp. I was RB1 in training camp, so, just been preparing from there and just, Did you find out that you started playing?
That question right there is why I'm at. That's why I don't like really talking to media, because you say one thing wrong, and then just skip that question.
All right.
I seen Mahomes.
So why
I seen Mahomes throw that game. I see him throw that game, and it's so funny. It's weird because I'm it's like some bipolarity, right? Because I see Mahomes, and I can see it in his face. I seen a couple passes he threw. I knew the conversation. The conversation is like, you got a long career ahead of you. We need our boy to get 7 rings. And I love Tom Brady too, so I'm torn. You know what I'm saying? You're not always one thing.
When you were AB. You were AB?
Yeah, I'm with AB. I'm talking about when Tom Brady won that Super Bowl over Mahomes, right? So I seen him throw a pass, and it looked like Christian Laettner running up the court slow to me. Because I seen it. I know, and I knew what the conversation was. The conversation, you got a long career ahead of you. We need this one. You ain't going to be coming out doing all this. You ain't going to be moonwalking today, Mahomes. We'll give you your opportunity to moonwalk. It's just not today. We'll give you your opportunity to moonwalk. It's just not today. And if you go out here and pull a Bruce Willis on Pulp Fiction, you pull a Ye, you won't make it. And they showed him a picture of his grandmother. And they showed him, you know what I'm saying? Do this sound like about right? Does it sound about right? Yeah. And the interesting thing, the way how Quentin Tarantino framed it, whether it's in Pulp Fiction or Django, he framed it Where Ving Rhames.
When people ask you, what's the scariest thing you have to do in your job? Oh, I don't know.
You're not scared, are you?
Forget all that.
First. Cooper. Cooper. Cooper.
Yeah, no thanks. I remember one time I was walking my dog where I used to live in my apartment. Now, my apartment used to have like a little tiny strip mall in the front, like out in the front of it. They had a bar, they had like a paint and sip, they had a barbershop, a nail salon. They put a church in there, right? A little church. And I remember I used to walk my dog on Sundays. We'd go for a long walk through the neighborhood and, just walk for a long walk in the evening, right? And we walked by that church. And I remember my dog, Joy, she started going crazy, like barking in the wind, like looking inside, like barking. And she doesn't do that. She's a good dog, right? She doesn't bark at people, really, none of that. And she was going crazy. We never walked in front of that church again. But, that kind of freaked me out when she was looking in that church, barking her brains out.
Idea. Mr. President, why don't you give him a pardon? Give him a pardon. By the way, that was not in the speech, as you probably know. But I happen to like this gentleman right over here, and it just seems to make so much sense. Whether we like it or not, this has been one of the greatest wartime presidents. This has been one of the greatest wartime presidents. And cigars and champagne, who the hell cares about that? All right, enough controversy for the day, right? Actually, I don't think it's very controversial. So, I see so popular. You are a very popular man. You know why? Because you know how to win.
Mount Herman.
I mean, what do you guys think of that? All my Trump followers, supporters, how are you guys feeling? It's been quiet in the comments. I'm just being honest. It's been quiet. I haven't got unsubscribing because you're a Democrat, whatever. Like, I was a Trump fan, y'all, but it looks like he's best friends over there in Israel, but our country's going to shambles. You can't get along with us over here to end this government shutdown. It's affecting my woman. Like, our country's over here in shambles, and he's over there doing peace deals or whatever. Like, what do you guys think of this? What do you guys think? Let me know down below. Don't unsubscribe because I'm asking you an honest question. Because I'm not happy with it. Right? Doing things over there, but over here it ain't good, right? Groceries are still high. Gas is still high. Interest rate's still high. My wallet's getting thin. Right? Things that really matter. Like immigration at the end of the day doesn't really matter, y'all. Does it really affect your life? Does it really affect your life? Really? It doesn't. It doesn't really, right? It doesn't. But our pockets, that does affect our life. And ain't a damn thing changed with that. It's actually gone up.
Oh, in the book of Enoch, 200 angels, watchers, descended upon the top of Mount Hermon. But this man, Sir Charles Warren, he was the chief of police for London or something, but he wanted to go to the Israel-Palestine area and map it out. And he made it to Mount Hermon, and he said there was this giant ancient temple. There's no pictures of it, but what he did was he drew it out. It was a spiral thing.
Wow.
And he said at the center, it appeared to be like an altar for sacrifices. But up there also was this giant stone tablet pillar. And so he's like, yo, we're going to bring that back with us. They brought it back to England, but then the British Museum put it in the archives. And to this day, no one is allowed to go and do research on it.
Wow.
But today, the peak of Mount Hermon is a UN lookout post kind of thing. If you're not high ranking within the UN, you cannot go up there. They have banned any archaeological digs anything around that area.
Oh man,
Not cool.
What's crazy too is some biblical scholars theorize that the transfiguration of Jesus also happened at the top of Mount Hermon. If the Watchers descended upon this place, is there a weird portal?
So wild. That's crazy to think about.
See, that's what's annoying, y'all. Going back to the Trump thing. They're all in a club and we're not invited. We're not invited to go on top of the mountain to see things. We're not invited to go in certain spots on the Grand Canyon to explore nature. We're not allowed to. We're not in the club. We're not. And then he dangles all these things in front of everybody, both sides, right? I'm not just picking on Trump. I'm saying everybody. They're all in the club. They're all in it. Biden and Trump, both in the same club. And they fight to keep us divided so we don't go and rush in that club. Go rush up that Mount Hermon. Go rush in that Grand Canyon. Go rush that Area 51. Right? We're not in that club. And that's what I'm trying to do. Wake some people up that are so far that they think they're in the club toasting with Mr. Trump, toasting with Mr. Biden, Miss Kamala, whatever side you believe in. You think they're your friend. They're not. They're in a club and we're not invited. And before we invite ourselves into our house that we pay taxes on, they'll hit the end button before they let that happen. And they'll go under the ground, into their bunkers, whatever, while we perish.
Please scan your ID. Access denied. Carbon quota exceeded.
What? No, come on. You've got to be kidding me.
That would suck.
Cancer was not common until 1874. In fact, the medical school that I went to, the guy's name on the building is called Alton Oshner. I'm going to tell you a story that he told me my first year in medical school. It was the old man that owned the hospital. He said he used to tell the medical students in the 1920s when they saw a case of lung cancer to come in and see it because you're likely never going to see another case of this in your life. I want you to think about that for a minute, Luke. So here's the thing. I told you the first bulb ever made, and when the power grid was built out, was between 1879 and the 1920s. The reason why cancer wasn't common, because we didn't have the stimulus that caused it. And guess what? Today, in 1900, colon cancer was the 37th leading cause of cancer in the United States. 5 generations later, it's number 2. How'd that shit happen? Well, guess what?
No pun intended.
Right. Your colon. Think about where your colon is. Your colon is inside your gut. How many people do you think who get colon cancer let infrared A light go right through their belly? Remember, infrared A light penetrates 10 to 30 centimeters. Okay? Everybody wants to blame it on the food, but you know I'm not that dude. Okay? I'm going to blame it on the light that you allow in your environment. And I'm going to explain to you exactly the reason why it happens, because let me tell you something. When you go from 37th to 2nd in 5 generations, that takes Darwin and the nuclear genome right out of it. Changes don't happen that fast to nuclear DNA. And guess what? What are we studying? We're studying the nuclear DNA to look for the cause of colon cancer. Epic freaking failure. Why? It's a mitochondrial disease. And mitochondria all respond to incident EMF. And the type of EMF they respond best to, 250 to 780. Don't forget it.
You know, the real danger in the Amazon would be swimming in the rivers. You have all manner of creatures that want to eat you in those rivers. Mm-hmm. And that's not hyperbole. You have, the piranhas are the least of your concerns. You have huge caimans, black caimans, right? Basically alligators, crocodiles, whatever they're kind of in the middle caimans. And usually they're kind of, you know, like an American alligator that size. But they've been known to get really big deep in the Amazon. And then you have the most dangerous thing in the water is the electric eels. Now, they're not going to eat you, but as the electric eels, and they get really big. I killed a big electric eel and got electrocuted doing it. But the really big eels, all of the eels, as they're hunting, they're swimming in the water and they're discharging electricity into the water. And you can hear it if they're near the surface. It sounds like sizzling on the surface of the water, and it stuns the fish and they float to the top, and then the eels will eat them. Well, if you're in the way of that discharge, you get zapped and you drown, and that's a big problem in the
So what the fuck just happened in Arizona? What the fuck just happened?
Damn.
Arizona?
No, somebody took Oma.
Now, usually during those Arizona storms, the Palo Verde trees fall, right? I will never own a Palo Verde tree because they always tip over. Those are some trees that have been there for some years. Like those aren't no Palo Verde trees that are just so weak and brittle and they fall over in 40-mile-an-hour wind. Like that had to be some crazy wind. Anybody out there in Tempe, Globe, Scottsdale, any of the towns that got hit by this, it didn't hit too hard out in Goodyear. They got rain, but it was nothing like that. Anybody out there in that Tempe area, let me know down below. How was that? Because those were some trees that have been there for some years. They've seen some storms. I think tomorrow's theme video is going to be storm related. A lot of storm stuff because there's a lot of crazy things in California, here where I'm at, here in Texas, in Arizona, a lot of crazy things, and along with worldwide. Storms are just happening. And you hear everybody say that are from Tempe, natives in California, natives where I'm at. I've been here 40 years. I've never seen a dust storm like that. I'm sure in Tempe, you guys are hearing it. I've been here 30 years and I've never seen a storm like that. Things like that are happening everywhere, y'all. It's kind of like we're getting close to rushing that Grand Canyon or rushing that Mount Hermon, right? And they're trying to keep us like, okay, they're getting close. They're getting close. We're getting close to breaking this open. I can feel it, y'all. And that's scary, right? It sounds like it's a good thing, but that's scary because they will hit that eject button.
As a wasteland, Utah got smoked by fervent heat. Look at these towers. This used to be a city. And when the day of the Lord hit in the first century, all this whole city got melted down. All these dwellings and towers and buildings, these look like buildings. Now, if you've seen the city of Petra in Jordan, go watch my Petra video on my backup page. It's in my bio. Look. This used to be structures, buildings, walls. Petra was the same way. Petra was a Roman city that got taken out by fervent heat, melted down. And I mean, look how smooth that is. When ice cream melts, it's smooth down. And look at this arch. Is that natural? Come on, man. Natural formation? How'd that form naturally? 2 Peter chapter 3 verses 10 through. Peter is talking about
Detroit. Now y'all believe my alien videos? Look like they pulled up. So tonight, a truck driver had captured on his camera a meteor coming down from the skies just over Farmington Hills. Now they saying that the sighting was near the interchange of the I-275 and the I-96. Look at this. I even slowed it down. Where'd it come from? Did y'all see it? Go back and look at it. Where'd it go? Was it a boom? Was shit on fire? Wonder if people try to track it down, go find it, and see what's going on. Maybe you get some superpowers. Maybe you can get those powers. You can stop this shit going on in Detroit. Nah, let me not say that. Cause them YNs will start killing about that. So delusional, think they about to go find some golden power now.
Chill out. Fuck. I'm scared too. Just relax, baby. Relax. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down, you guys. Right here. Next to me. Just sit down. Just sit down. Everybody pray. Come away from here. Come right here. Everybody just pray, okay, you guys? Everybody just pray. Dear God, please bless our family. Keep us safe. We are in a moment of need. We just need you to protect us, dear God. We love you. Please keep our family safe. We are praying to you right now. We love you, Jesus. And we appreciate you. Oh my freaking God. Oh my God. I can't shit like this in my life. Oh my God, I'm so scared, you guys. It's okay. You're not gonna die. You're not gonna die, my love. Okay? You're not gonna die. Hold this and record it.
I had a dream about this and now I'm scared. I hope everyone's okay. I pray for Xavier. I pray for Auntie. I pray for everyone. I'm really scared.
okay.
Everyone's okay. Mama, it was blue lightning.
I know, I saw it.
I don't want this to happen. No, it's going away.
It's okay.
It said it was going to stop at 3.
Okay, it's okay. It's calming down. We just need to fix our window, okay?
So then you see certain whistleblowers coming out saying they're using Enochian text to channel different beings. I believe when they used to sell Ouija boards at Walmart as a kid, as a toy for children.
Put a Ouija board on the screen.
They used to sell Ouija boards in stores as a child's toy. All of these beings always want some type of. If you look into ancient texts, ancient cultures, if they were indeed influenced by non-human intelligences, those non-human intelligences demanded.
Let's talk about the Trump-Gaza peace plan. It has more or less proceeded exactly the way I said it would over 2 years ago. First of all, obviously you should understand that Donald Trump, did not conceive this plan. He received this plan. Tony Blair did not conceive his institute's plan for Gaza. He received that plan. Donald Trump didn't draft that plan any more than he wrote the art of the deal. You understand me? This is a GCC plan.
The Gulf Cooperation Council, GCC, is a regional alliance of 6 Gulf countries: Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates.
Endorsed by the A National OCGFC. And yes, it is what I have been telling you all along. America has barely had a role. They've barely had a role in this plan, except insofar as they are the party that has custody of Israel. That's been America's role. Their job has basically been to manage their client, just like a lawyer, who's trying to convince a delusional, guilty client that he has to take the plea bargain, that he has to take the deal. That's what America's job has been. But Israel's lawyer, in this case, America, just like any lawyer, first and foremost, works for the system. You understand? So, you might have a client who thinks that they can get this or that if they go to court. They think that they can get off if they go to court or what have you. But they're just annoying to the district attorney. They're annoying to the judge. They're annoying to the system. And the lawyer who works for the system knows that his client's only realistic option is to take the deal that's on offer. So his job is no longer to so-called defend his client, but to convince his client to settle, to take the deal. Because the lawyer, at the end of the day, doesn't want to sour his relationship with the DA, with the judge, with the system, by wasting everyone's time and wasting everyone's money by defending a clearly guilty client in court who has no chance of winning.
And Israel absolutely has no chance of winning. The entire world is in agreement that Israel has committed genocide in Gaza. There is no coming back from this.
So you've got someone like Stephen Witkoff, for example. Well, he works for the GCC. Witkoff works for the GCC. Trump works for the GCC. Tony Blair works for the GCC. They are, like if you take the lawyer-client analogy, Trump, Witkoff, Blair, okay, they work for the A National OCGFC law firm. That's who they work for. And that law firm includes the GCC, it includes Saudi Arabia, China, BRICS, as their senior partners. You understand? Those are the senior partners in the A National OCGFC law firm. And you know how some law firms, they only deal in certain areas of the law, like contracts or taxes or what have you. Well, the A National OCGFC law firm deals with primarily real estate development, business contracts, mergers and acquisitions, partnership deals, and so on. They don't do criminal law. This isn't what they do. But in this particular case, they have a criminal client. And they need that criminal client to take the deal so that they can move on with what they are actually specialized in, what they actually do. They have plans, and that criminal client is obstructing those plans. I told you a long time ago, and I told you, in fact, over and over again, that America was trying to walk backwards out of the room while telling Israel that they're not leaving. But they absolutely have been trying to get away. They've been trying to get away. America has been trying to get away from their relationship. They've been trying to get out of that relationship with Israel for a very long time. That's what the Abraham Accords was all about. The Abraham Accords was trying to lay the groundwork for America getting out of that relationship and shifting Israel's dependency from America over to the Gulf. Because the America-Israel relationship only ever made strategic sense in the context of the post-World War II global order. I've said this many times, and that global order, post-World War II global order, is being dismantled now. So now Israel is a liability for the U.S. But neither the U.S. nor Israel are adaptable. They have no ideas. They don't know how to actually function. They only know how to do one thing. So they needed the GCC, they needed Saudi, they needed the Emiratis, they needed Qatar in coordination with BRICS to try to figure out how to make it work, how they could make it work in a way that appealed to the A national OCGFC. And that's what they've done. That's what this plan is.
Like Easter Island syndrome, like you can collapse an island.
Can you explain that to people who aren't familiar with Easter Island?
Easter Island is the island with the big heads off the coast of Chile, I believe. Mm-hmm. And Easter Island syndrome is a thing where you're stuck on an island and your population grows. And so in order to sustain that population, you cut down all the trees, you eat all the fruit. And because you're so isolated, once you do that, your civilization collapses. So that's what they believe happened in Easter Island. Basically, they cut down the last tree to make a canoe to go fishing because the fish were so far out because they caught all the fish. And once you cut down the last tree, there was no coconuts, there were no more canoes, the whole population collapsed. So these guys, the reason you asked me what I found so fascinating, it's not just because of their remote lifestyle. I've been with lots of tribes that have a remote lifestyle. They have managed, they're like forest gardeners and ecosystem engineers. They're like, we live on a small island, Mota Island. We can collapse it. If we hunt every bat, if we cut down every tree, if we do that, our way of life will be gone. So instead, when they eat a mango, they take that mango seed and plant it back in the dirt.
Oh, wow.
Or when they go to kill bats, they look for a bat that doesn't have babies and they kill one bat and they eat that bat, per family. Like they're constantly regulating the environment and managing their island so that they can maintain their way of life. And not one, I was only there for a few days, but at no point in time did I get the inkling that they're like, man, we would love a Chili's here. You know what I mean?
The crazy.
What do you guys think of Easter Island? Do you think they weren't smart enough to eat and plan it? Do you think they weren't smart enough? They got these huge stone hieroglyphs. I don't know. Even if it was a chisel to chisel those out, they didn't have the knowledge. They had knowledge to have canoes. They didn't have knowledge to, take one of those canoes to another place, right? They just, all right, we're out of food, guys. Sorry, we're screwed. You don't think they prepared for that? They started seeing like, okay, we're getting kind of low. We got to get out of here. They just think, all right, we're out of food. Throw in the towel. Like that's how Western discoverers think, right? They think the minority is so stupid that they don't know how to evolve. Like they don't know how to evolve, right? They think we're the chimpanzees and the apes, right? It's annoying.
Discoveries of 2025. In China, engineers discovered an underground tunnel system built over 2,000 years ago, with hydraulic mechanisms so advanced that some of them still partially function today. The bottom of the Pacific Ocean, divers found a stone structure resembling a temple, with mysterious inscriptions that do not match any known language. In a frozen lake in Siberia, scientists identified a prehistoric bacterium still alive with regenerative properties, now being studied for applications in regenerative medicine. In Ethiopia, archaeologists located what might be the oldest map in the world, carved into stone and depicting geographic formations with impressive accuracy for its time. In a cave in Turkey, researchers discovered 3D rock art carved directly into the stone, depicting scenes of rituals, animals, and constellations.
Why would they want to hide some ancient civilization discovery, particularly in the early...
Okay, have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
Entire neighborhoods, but underground?
And the wild part, these people have no clue.
Seriously?
This whole thing supposedly kicked off back in the late 70s when nuclear tensions were peaking. Intelligence agencies secretly greenlit this classified defense initiative, basically a backup plan for humanity if things went nuclear up top. Their idea? Simple build, full-on towns underground, complete with roads, stores, schools, a mirror of normal society. But then they hit a problem: no people. And here's where it gets dark. They allegedly took hundreds of kids from orphanages, ones young enough to forget where they came from. They raised them below, told them the surface world was destroyed, and this was all that remained. But here's the kicker, they never stopped. Decades later, it's still running. A massive social experiment with thousands of people living beneath us, completely unaware the real world is just above their heads.
This is a theory, not a fact.
What do you think about the...
I mean, that's AI, a theory, but I mean, I could see that being something, right? I could see it being something factual.
So guns in my head, I think they were used to generate energy. You know, for people interested in it, they can look into Christopher Dunn's work. He's done the research, definitive research on the pyramid power plant theory. Tesla was fascinated by the pyramids, not so much for energy, but for how they were constructed, how they're constructed to true north and all of that. He was fascinated by the engineering of it. But his free energy device, a lot of that engineering can be seen in the pyramid.
Did I call out Jaguar Wright? No. But did Jaguar Wright attack me? Yes. Did I ask, when you guys came to me and you said, hey, would you do an interview with Jaguar Wright? All I said was, no thank you. No thank you. No thank you. You know, she's speaking, let her speak. No thank you. Did I ever badmouth her? Did I ever backbite? Did I ever mudsling? Did I ever talk shit? Did you hear it? No. Not once. But once I said, here, kitty, kitty, then here comes Jaguar Wright attacking me with all these other people that came around to try to defend a crotch fire, a crotch goblin, that claims to be the woman who had me in her possession. Now, I want you guys to think for a second. The first time she came out, she said I was still a teenager, and that this woman right here kidnapped me. As a mother, if you knew who kidnapped your child, would you wait 17 years to say anything?
Now, why the hell would Romans build amphitheatres in the middle of nowhere? Some of these are 5 to 10 miles away from the nearest city. They're in the most remote locations you could ever build, high up in the mountains, some of them. So you're telling me these peasants tracked through mud 5 to 10 miles to go and see a show, then trekked all the way back. None of these amphitheatres have roofs, not one of them. So they just sit in the cold, the wind, the elements with no roofs watching the show. It doesn't make sense. Now, I went into depth on this theory on a previous video I've done a few months ago. I'm going to pin this after I complete this, just so people can have a butcher's. I believe we should be looking into this more. I truly believe these were water treatment plants or water storage facility. For the simple fact that some of these amphitheatres were built in the most remote locations in the world. For instance, they are in Middle Eastern deserts where you would need water on their travels for camels, horses and themselves. But of course this is just a theory and none of this is true, made up in my mad mind. Or maybe the real madness is thinking they hauled megaton stones just to sell tickets to a bunch of peasants.
I mean, they do it now, right? Peasants fly. Sundays, there's a game every Sunday in England now or Brazil. Peasants from America that support, let's just say, the 49ers fly all the way over there in the cold, in a place where they're not from, to buy a ticket and watch a game. I mean, I used to drive when I lived in Goodyear all the way to Tempe when the Cardinals used to play at the Sun Devil Stadium. Peasants in the heat, 115 degrees out there. They used to have, you know, the carts where they sell beer and all that with ice and all that. They used to just have carts out there with ice and people can dip their towels in the ice water and put it on their neck because it was so hot. All my real Cardinal fans know about that, right? That's how old school I am, y'all.
There are 3 places in the world which are really lacking in the investigation right now. One of them is the Amazon, 5.5 million square kilometers, very little archaeology done. Another is the Sahara Desert. The Sahara Desert Tough place to work. I can understand why there's little archaeology done there. But the Sahara Desert was green during the Ice Age. It had a completely different climate regime. We should consider the possibility that missing parts of the human story are there. And then under the continental shelves, because sea level rose 400 feet. These are 3 domains that archaeology has largely not investigated, and it has largely not done so. They say, well, why would we spend the money on marine archaeology? It's much better to spend it on looking for shipwrecks rather than looking for signs of a lost civilization, because we archaeologists know there was no lost civilization. So that's the argument for the resources there, and the same with the Amazon, and the same with the Sahara Desert. Places in the very places in the world that those amongst us who are charged with the responsibility of interpreting the past have not looked at are the very places we should be looking at.
If you look at where the pyramid is, right?
Okay.
So it's really the seal of Solomon, right? So if you connect the M, the A, the S, the O, and the N, it spells Mason. So it goes upside down like this, and then like this. It's 2 pyramids. Solomon, right? And then did you see the owl on there? The secret owl?
No, where's
Never seen the owl on the? This is on your money, you guys. You guys spend this every day, and you guys never seen this.
Owl is on the dollar?
Yeah. So you need a magnifying glass, but it's up here somewhere, right where the one is. You need a magnifying glass, but it's on there, right? And then it's Anuit Forceptus, right? So you know what that means?
No.
Okay. So, and I'll break that down in Novus Ordo Seclorum, New Order of the Ages. And then Anuit Forceptus means he signals the beginning. Who are they talking about? In God we trust. Which God are we talking about? God doesn't need money. So, Antichrist. We're in the beast system right now, you guys. This is why I love crypto, because it's the exact opposite of this shit. It's not even worth the paper it's printed on. So you mean to tell me we give all the power to a private entity, the Federal Reserve, who's not federal, nor have reserves, and they lend it out to us, and we gotta pay it back with taxes and interest? Does that make sense to anybody?
No.
So there's a consciousness aspect to this. Like, you have to think of like, consciousness is like, it's like the mind of God, you know. It's not a dude in a toga with a crown of thorns making Jupiter, you know. It's like everything you see is one band of frequencies. The highest frequency is light, unified mind. The lowest frequency would be blackness, absence of love, absence of whatever. And physical matter is somewhere right in the middle, right? So you have the ability to tune up higher or tune down lower, and behavior and all these things and time, and it all fucking comes together. But what it means also is that your brain is what's called a transducer. You're an antenna. So you create matter. And when you think something, it creates it. And you're not reactionary to your environment. You're actually proactive, and you just don't know it. So it really matters what you choose to see and feel, because that's literally what's being created for you. I was just reading a book where there's a ufologist that got invited to this seance thing where they were channeling and interacting with this like fucking demon or something. And he starts channeling and gets possessed by this entity. And first the entity's like, hey, we are these entities that are adjacent to you in another timeline. We can't feel emotion, but we need you to host to help us feel emotion. But then shit starts going horribly wrong, paranormal stuff, the temperature drops, all this weird shit, and everyone in that room except for 2 people died within 6 months. I can see that being the case, where emotion and feeling and love, they want to understand it, they want to have it. Hypothetically, what if they figure out that our soul is part of something greater, and we might die and have a painful life, but we learned all our lessons, and we might reincarnate to learn more, whatever, and they're sitting here going, if we die, we have nothing. We want that. And then what if we have those interactions and we start writing books in the Bible that says Satan loves your soul? It starts to all make a little bit more sense, right?
That's a really interesting theory to think about. Maybe the soul is what makes us unique.
Yeah.
And perhaps there is other non-human intelligence that doesn't have souls, and therefore they're trying to figure out how to get what we have, or study it, or maybe they do have souls and we're all connected anyway. And
I
so
like
there's a
that
connection there.
theory a lot better than that we're useless pieces of shit monkeys living on a planet.
Did you know these are the people who knew too much and were silenced? Michael Jackson,
what they tell
25th
us,
of June 2009. It's said that Michael uncovered secrets about a dark network involving high-ranking politicians and minors. The official version states he died from an overdose while trying to sleep that night. But how credible is that explanation? Barnaby Jack, 25th of July, 2013. This famous hacker shocked the world when, during a conference, he demonstrated how some could manipulate pacemakers to cause clean, undetectable deaths. Just days later, Barnaby was found dead in his apartment. A simple coincidence, or was he silenced for what he knew? Daphne Caruana Galizia, 16th of October, 2017. This investigative journalist exposed secrets about the elites and the controversial Panama Papers. Her research placed her in direct conflict with powerful figures. Shortly afterwards, a bomb in her car ended her life. Is it really just a coincidence that all these people met such fates, or did they uncover something they were never meant to know? But what do you think, Comet Silence? If you want me to keep exposing the hidden truth...
In 6th Street. And a lot of people right here, they tend to like do drugs or whatever, right? And the crazy thing about the world today, that they say that drugs is bad and don't do it and try to like say it's, you know, stay away from it. But at this corner store right here, right there, right when as soon as you walk in, is everything you need to consume your drug of choice. They got pipes, they got lighter. That's literally crazy as fuck, bro. All this shit is made for us to fail. All of it. Just be stronger than the program, bro.
You get to the deepest.
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? And, you know, that smoke shop, that guy's intention isn't for us to fail. But he's like, and people, I walk down the street, I see all these people smoking a vape. I'm going to profit off that, right? I'm going to profit off their failure. You know, that's how deep it is, y'all. It's not his intentions, but the intentions of the vape companies and all that, that's theirs. The fast foods, you know, it's everywhere, y'all, everywhere. We go out, when we leave our house, everywhere we go is to keep us dumb down. That's the goal when we step out of our house. Their goal of whoever they are want to keep us a low frequency. And the ones that are at a high frequency, usually damned crazy. Right? Don't be like this guy. You know, be like this guy that's going out Friday night to the bars drinking, comes home, beats his wife. Like, you know what I mean? Like, everywhere we go is the objective of that place is to dumb you down, keep you dumb.
Ocean, and there's a plastic bag and candy wrappers.
There were no candy wrappers. That's
Okay.
a good example of how the media will create something out of
They
nothing.
did create that. It was in the article.
Yeah. It was published in the BBC that I saw candy wrappers, and that happened because someone accidentally at a PR firm for the people filming the expedition saw that there were candy wrappers at
Getting
a
my damn
different
gallon
trench,
today.
and they made a mistake, and it got into the press release that they released that I never got to look at. And then it was republished by the BBC.
Right.
So it's just an interesting example where in the so-called factual record of history, on my first dive, I saw candy wrappers. When I continued to insist, no, I didn't. I did see a piece of human contamination. I never said it was a plastic bag.
Right.
It looked like plastic. It was definitely man-made because it had lettering on it.
Yeah.
But I don't know what material it was because I wasn't able to capture it. Whatever you read, and I've learned this from now firsthand experience and from actually being in a war, that what you read is often similar to the truth, but not the exact truth.
I've never had anybody to talk to about this, but I fully believe that in 2023, I died.
So I think I died in 2022. And from this event, I figured out it probably wasn't my first death. Let me explain. So in 2022, my daughter was going to this special magnet school, which required me to take her to school. I had to drive her and pick her up. So every day, every morning, same routine, and in the afternoon. So at 3 o'clock is when I would leave to make sure I had to go pick her up on time. So around about 2 p.m. on this particular day, I started to get real sleepy. And I was like, man, I didn't want to go to sleep because I knew I had to pick her up at 3 o'clock. So, but for some reason, it was like I was forced into a sleep. Like I could not contain myself. I had to go to sleep. Like it was forcing me. So before I knew it, I was asleep. Well, time went by and all of a sudden I awakened maybe like 30 to 40 minutes later. But the crazy thing is when I awakened, I had no clue who I was. I was not the same person. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know where I was at. My place did not look the same. I just didn't understand. I get up and I'm walking around and I'm like, it's something I need to do. What am I supposed to be doing? So like I said, slowly, it was the strangest situation. Slowly my memory's coming back to me. And I'm like, okay, I need to get in the car. But the crazy thing is I didn't know where I was going. So I get the keys and I get in the car. Now, I'm driving around, but I don't know where I'm going, but I know I need to do something. I'm slowly gaining memory back, but I still don't know where I'm going. So I'm driving around. And I'm like, I know I'm supposed to do something. I'm supposed to pick somebody up, but I don't know where. So after about an hour of driving around, finally, I'm like, okay, I need to go to the school. So I get to the school, and I'm already over an hour late. Now, granted, I pick her up on time every single day. I'm over an hour late. So now I get there, and when she gets in the car, she's like, Mom, what happened? So I'm telling her about this crazy thing that just happened to me. The strangest part about that is, ever since this happened, everything between me and my children have changed, because they're telling me about memories and telling me about stuff, and I'm telling them, I never said that. We never had that conversation, and they're like, yes, Mom, we did. And then I'm telling them about stuff, and they're saying, what are you talking about? That never happened. And it's so strange. So I don't know if, like, I switched timelines or something, but something strange happened on that day. But it brought me back to the memory of my continuous death, in which I'll get to in another video.
Why does Israel have fucking nukes in the first place?
They stole it from America.
Bro, I don't care, and I love the fact that we do.
Okay, but you guys are like going fucking nuts about Iran having them, and you guys illegally acquired
You
them.
should too, because we have them, or supposedly have them.
You guys acquired
And
them
if Iran
illegally.
has them,
You're a state.
do you know that Iran's target isn't even really Israel?
Oh, here we go.
They don't give a shit about America.
Yeah.
They don't like us because we funded
It's Saudi Arabia.
Iran is a fucking big threat to America.
It's Saudi Arabia, Dan.
Why would they want to kill Saudi Arabia? Over
Because you don't understand Islam. In Islam, the Sunni and the Shia have been at war with each other since the beginning of Islam.
Yeah.
If Iran destroyed Israel overnight and wiped it out, they're not done. They're not complete. Their game isn't over. Their story isn't finished. Their story finishes when their 12th imam comes and takes the Mecca and walks all the way to Saudi Arabia and conquers Saudi Arabia.
So there's been a lot of chatter online lately.
See, it's deeper over there than what we think. Like money, we want their oil, we want this and that. Theirs is like life and death in their mind, right? This is what I read, this is what we do, this is what we believe in our soul. This is why we do it. We don't do it because we want their oil. We don't do it because they attacked us. We do it because this is what we believe in, right? Am I right or wrong? That's what I kind of got from that conversation.
It may have happened. Obviously, the health concerns already, and let's say lack of public appearance. Now, I'm not saying any of that's true, but it does tie into the strange DC lore of the Pentagon pizza theory. I want to talk about that. See, back in the Cold War, a Domino's franchisee named Frank Meats noticed something weird. Whenever major events were about to break, like the invasion of Panama or Iraq rolling into Kuwait, pizza orders to the government buildings suddenly spiked. The logic was simple. When everyone in the Pentagon is pulling all-nighters, they're not cooking, they're calling Domino. Meeks even bragged that he could predict global events just by watching the older tickets. In fact, on the night before Iraq invaded Kuwait in 1990, he said the store broke every sales record delivering pies to Langley and the Pentagon. And guess what? The next day, war headlines were everywhere. So for a while, pizza became this weird shadow indicator of world history in the making. Now, people are going to say this is confirmation bias. You only notice the pizzas when the world goes sideways, let's say. The Pentagon even pointed out that they've got food vendors inside, so they really have no reason to have food delivered. But the pattern keeps showing up, so people keep watching. So they could be planning something big in DC, or it could have happened. I guess we'll just have to wait and see on that one.
To Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Oh. Okay. To Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Okay, let me just finish my thought. I was in the trenches, guys. Let me just finish my thought. I was in the trenches with the Prime Minister. Believe me, he was a very important part here. The Prime Minister and his staff, Ron Dermer included, have both.
He doesn't stop, does he? He doesn't learn.
Okay. have both sacrificed so much for this country.
That's crazy. Don't that look like a computer grid?
I'm going to show you why America is cooked in terms of convenience and food. These are premium spicy noodles bought at a Family Mart convenience store for about $6 US. When you open it up, you'll find a bunch of these futuristic looking packages and this one where all the magic happens. I'll get to this soon. You put everything in the container one by one, with the noodles on the bottom, followed by vegetables, a packet of meat with sauce, and the final one with plenty of chili oil. Did I mention they include chopsticks in the container? Give it a little mix. Now, here's where it gets good. Add water to the bottom compartment and throw in this little packet. In about a minute, it will boil the water, and you place the mixed food container on top of it. Seal it up for 15 minutes. Here's the reveal. It's a spicy noodle dish with bamboo shoots, mushrooms, meat, and noodles. It's incredible. This does not look like something out of a convenience store and is basically better than any regular Chinese food I'd get in the States. A+. This is quite spicy, just like everything else in Chongqing. And the bamboo shoots are crunchy. You don't need a microwave or a stove. It's incredible. Pro tip, it pairs really well with this okra lemon drink.
All right, family. Let's make this quick. The baby just woke up. He let me get an hour and 11-minute banger in, minus any, copyrights. Might be a little shorter than that, but I appreciate all the love. We got another one on the way, y'all. One more, last baby. We wanted one more baby, so my boy, has somebody when we're long gone, right? That's how Segovia thinks. That's how I think, y'all. So I'm a big future planner, but I thank you guys for all the love and support you guys showed. We're hoping for a boy. I know I always say we just want a healthy baby. No duh. We don't got to speak the obvious, right? But we're hoping for a boy. And, it's going to be a trip, y'all. It's a trip for me because for the longest time, I never thought I was going to have this. For the longest time, y'all. For the longest time, I was giving up. Countless dates. I had to move out of my hometown to get what I got now. Life has changed so much since leaving that little apartment 251 that I was at for 7-8 years. Life has changed so much leaving that little apartment, y'all. The best decision I ever made was leaving that hometown, y'all. My life has changed, and I appreciate you guys. Appreciate all the love, support you guys show every single video. I appreciate it, y'all. We're gonna have to do a giveaway coming soon. I don't know when, but I want to show you guys how much I appreciate all the love and support you guys show, and not only me but my family. When I post a picture, you guys are there showing the utmost love, and it means a lot to me, y'all. So I appreciate that. But I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. I gotta feed this boy, change his diaper, get him fed, get myself fed. I'm hungry over here, but priorities, he's got to eat first, then I'll eat me something. But anyways, y'all, this is Segovia. I'm signing out of the man cave. I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow on the next one. Later.